Maybe all I want for Christmas is car insurance. Please buy car insurance. Please.
We're not gonna stop playing this commercial till you buy it. Please buy car insurance.
Hey, it's you!
Haha, yeah, it's me, yeah.
How old are you now? 14? 15?
22.
Oh. Yeah, I just thought cause of, you know.
Okay.
So what's your New Year's resolution?
I've decided that this year I'm gonna go vegan.
That's nice. You're not gonna do it though.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna do it this time. This year, I'm gonna change. It's a new year, new me. I can just feel it, you know? Like, I feel good about this year. Like, this is the year, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Hey everyone, the year's about to end.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, get the f out of my house! Hello?
Hey, Steve, best friend.
We haven't talked in years.
You know, I just thought I'd call and ask, how's your New Year's resolution going?
Well, I'm doing great actually. Told myself I'm gonna start exercising more. Day 3 is going strong. How about you?
I'm doing great too. Been super healthy, eating a lot of green stuff.
That's great. So you've been on the vegan diet?
Yeah. Say, this is completely theoretical and this totally isn't happening to me, but say someone was, you know, completely ignoring their diet.
You've broken it, haven't you?
What? No. Okay, fine. Maybe just a little bit.
Okay, well don't worry. Just because you broke it doesn't mean you have to give up on it forever. You still have the whole year to... Hello? Hello? You went to buy more chocolate, didn't you? Of course you did.
Hello there. Happy New Year. Okay, maybe it's not January 1st anymore, but it's still January. I hope. This video better be out soon. 2017 has been a very interesting year. It was honestly one of the best years for me, considering the success of my channel, getting on YouTube trending as creator on the rise, and meeting so many new friends and creators. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm bragging, my year definitely wasn't perfect, but I just wanted to mention these things. A lot has happened, and I'm honestly not even sure where to begin, so I'm not going to. There are plenty of 2017 summary videos you can find on the internet, some of them you might have watched, but I personally really don't feel like rewinding through all the memes, trends, and political stuff. Not really my thing. One thing I will say though is I think the Hollywood sign was changed to Hollyweed for a while. That was pretty funny. I thought instead of looking backwards, I want to keep moving forward. So for now, I decided, let's talk about 2018, the tradition of New Year's, and how to achieve your goals any time of the year. Excuse me, guys. Hello, my name is Jimmy, and I'm here to give you some super true and cool science facts about how the world was made and stuff. So we have these things called years, and apparently the entire world was created 2,000 years ago. Before that, people were kind of just floating around in space. What's up? Not much, man. Just floating around. But people got bored of floating, so then the Earth happened, and all the planets, and they were like, whoa, that's really cool, now we can invent the concept of time. And iPhones. So the Mayans created what we know today as the Mayan calendar of coolness, famously known for having a picture of funny cats with sunglasses every month. But then something weird happened. They stopped counting at 2012, so obviously that meant the world was gonna end in 2012. And it's true. They made a movie about it. Then they all lived happily ever after in the desolate remains of the Earth we all know and love today, as countless zombies roam the planet searching for yummy brains to eat. Also, Batman is the president of the entire world. The end. What the f are you talking about? Okay, but seriously, the Earth has actually existed for billions and billions of years. I know this is obvious, but I gotta make it clear, because, you know.
Yeah, no, the Earth is flat.
And everything before the last 2018 years was BC, and we're currently in 2018 AD. BC means before Christ, and AD is after death, and that's where we are currently. We probably know that already, blah, blah, blah. Let's talk about it. Personally for me, every year has always felt like a clean slate to start fresh and make some changes to my life. In fact, I think a lot of people think that, and I think that's why we created these things called New Year's resolutions. Starting January 1st, we dedicate ourselves to a goal of some sort, and by the end of each year, we hope that the goal was achieved. Sadly, it seems like most New Year's resolutions don't actually happen. In fact, according to a study from the University of Scranton, only 8% of people actually achieve their New Year's resolutions. So when you put it into perspective, over time it sort of just feels like something you talk about at a party, or something to at least give ourselves hope that we can maybe end our bad habits. Since of course everyone wants to get into the new year, new me mindset, including myself. But sadly, most of them usually tend to fail because usually little to no planning was put into actually doing it. That or some complications occur that make it hard to do so, like having to move to another state, getting a new job, or killer robots take over the world. You know, Usual stuff. In fact, it seems whenever you ask someone how their New Year's resolution is doing, it usually ends up like this. Hey dude, hey what's up? So we're a week into the new year. How's your New Year's resolution doing? You know man, it's actually doing pretty terribly. I have achieved none of my goals this year. Hey, that's great to hear. What? Why? Wait, was that a bad thing? Sorry, you just sounded so upbeat. I thought you were saying a good thing. It's 2057. No one actually listens to each other anymore. So you're not hearing any of the words I'm saying right now. Are you mad at me? Okay, not exactly like that, but you get the idea. Usually you find out they didn't do their New Year's resolution, and odds are maybe you didn't either. And I want to find out why we don't do them. So I did some research on what causes many of us to not go through with our New Year's plans. And along the way, I learned some tips and advice that may be useful for achieving your long-term goals. Just a warning though, a lot of this video talks about stuff like getting into a routine. So if your only goal is to like finish reading that one book you were gonna read 3 years ago, this video might not be for you, but if you're looking to actually make a change in your life, then maybe keep watching. Anyway, let's try to find out why they fail and what we can do to fix it. Cause you suck. Hey, that's very rude.
Insert name here.
Can you please read the script I gave you? Ugh. Sorry. I meant to say, the individual watching this video is better than everyone else watching this video. You are amazing and unique. Also, thanks for 500 million subscribers. Look at the camera. Thank you. Whether it's kicking a bad habit or doing something good to benefit your health or long-term success, most of them tend to fail for a number of reasons. So let's break it down into why these two most common resolutions tend to fail by learning how they happen. Now, any sort of habit has a repeating pattern that causes you to do that habit. For this video, we're going to use the habit loop diagram by Charles Duhigg. So basically, it starts with a trigger, whether it's a certain time of day or an urge or any signal that tells your brain, hey, I want to do this thing right now. After that, you will follow the routine of whatever the habit is, usually the same way you did last time. Example, we'll say it was energy drinks. You'll probably go to the fridge, open the can, and maybe drink it in your bedroom. Following that is the reward. Once you get the reward, a habit forms in your brain that says, that was pretty cool. I want to do this again, and again, and again, and again. So let's apply that to good habits and bad habits. Now, if you guys have been watching my stuff, follow me on Twitter, or just know me personally, you'll know I have an addiction to the internet. I'm very obsessed with being on Twitter pretty much constantly, and I have a bit of a problem with video games, energy drinks, and not following through with my goals of learning Japanese, mastering the piano, and multiple other things. So I decided to take some time to do the research into finding out why these habits happen and what I could do to fix them. Maybe this will help you too. Hey, Vsauce, Bob here. I could do this joke, so goodbye. So what we know so far is that brains go into a pattern every time we do a habit, but I wanted to know why this pattern happens and how it can be stopped. So what you gotta do is the Making Bad Habits into Good Habits challenge, baby. Solves all your problems. There, I did it. I made an On One's Out reference. So you guys happy now? Get to the point. So first of all, you should know that whether it's a good habit or a bad habit, you can never unlearn it. However, you can train your brain into doing it significantly less. For example, once you learn to brush your teeth, you will never ever completely forget how to do it. But how can we create good habits and push aside bad habits? Well, let's think about how they work. Let's start with a bad habit. So some examples of bad habits people want to fix is smoking, drinking, drugs, being unhealthy, being on the internet too much, watching too much TV. Whatever it is, it will probably follow that cycle I mentioned. And the problem with bad habits is they're usually very, very easy to do. Versus a good habit, which usually takes commitment, time, and practice, our brains, rather than focusing on long-term success, they like to live in the present. And that's why you're more inclined to want to do the more comfortable and easy bad habit. Now, forming a good habit can be a little more tricky. Usually good habits are things like exercising more, reading more, going to bed earlier, doing more yoga, face your fears, learn to be less stressed, or whatever it is you've been meaning to do that'll make a positive impact on your life. The difference between a good habit and a bad habit is that usually bad habits happen unintentionally because no one really wants to have an internet addiction or an unhealthy lifestyle. Good habits, however, while they can happen unintentionally, are usually ones we train our brains to create if you know what you're doing. That's why your parents probably make you brush your teeth every day, so that your brain is trained to do it naturally without even thinking about it. So let's look back at the diagram again for energy drinks. This same diagram is not just to record bad habits, but can be used to create good habits. A good idea might be to replace the bad habit you have with a good habit, so that you will do the good habit when you feel the trigger for the bad habit. You have to manipulate the trigger yourself, whether it's setting a reminder every day to do it, or doing it after you eat or coming home from school. Your brain will learn and eventually do it without thinking. From there, the rest of the diagram will create itself, and the reward will come naturally. However, it's usually a really good idea idea to make your own personal reward something instant that you give yourself every time you do the good habit, so that your brain will have incentive to want to do it again and again. Like, sure, you may have the incentive of,
maybe if I keep this up for 6 months, I'll be a millionaire, and I'll have abs, and a yacht, and I'll be Tom Cruise.
but our brains, like I mentioned, are focused on the present. So try to have a small reward each time you do the good habit so you'll do it the next day. But try not to make the reward completely defeat the purpose of the goal, like a bowl of ice cream or a giant hamburger after a workout. That would just be silly. Maybe something like playing video games for a bit every time you finish that workout would be a smarter reward that will also, in the back of your mind, make you want to do the workout again, simply by association and creating that pattern. Replacing the bad thing with something else can help you want the new thing more, because interestingly enough, smokers, for example, sometimes don't even like the taste or the feeling or anything about the smoking, but what they do like is the social aspect of it, and just holding it in their hands is very satisfying. So instead, maybe try holding a pen and writing stuff down, or drawing could replace that urge. I'm not saying this is gonna work immediately, but over time, replacing it can help. Alright, so to recap, here's some things to remember. Bad habits and good habits follow this diagram. You might want to write it down 2 times on a piece of paper. One for the bad habit you currently do, and another one for the good habits you want to replace within time. While your brain wants to focus on the present and do your bad habit, it's your job to try and fight that urge and reward yourself after doing the good habit. And try to dedicate every day or every week, depending on what it is, to doing it again and again, until it becomes something you don't even think about anymore. If you keep it up, you'll find yourself not even liking the old bad thing that much. Or if your goal has nothing to do with bad habits, then you don't have to replace anything. Just repetition, persistence, incentive practices, and an eager mindset will help you soar to success. Now, a lot of people can probably agree with me when saying the tough part is keeping your good habit. Many New Year's resolution makers tend to give up after just a couple weeks. But here's some tips I've gathered that you can use to help yourself go in the right direction. Feel free to grab some paper and take notes. I personally find a lot of these helpful, and they may help you too. First, learn from your failures. If you break your New Year's resolution for one day, that's okay. You can still try again the next day, but don't let it break you. Have a plan. Even just having a very simple, the most basic plan, it's still a plan, and is better than nothing. Any day can be day one, but you should try starting as soon as possible. And to remember that creating a good habit can take a while, but you'll be gaining progress every single day you do it. Try to make goals that are less about the success and more about the journey. For example, something I like to follow when doing YouTube is that instead of having a goal of 10,000 subscribers or something, try to make a goal of having a certain number of videos. I don't mean pumping out poorly made videos every single day, but more videos means more experience and a higher chance of success. Apply that to whatever you want to do. Count the days you go to the gym or every book you read. Remember, this one's important. The hardest part is getting started. So try to remember that while just going to the gym may seem easy, it can be harder to go to the gym than the actual workout at the gym. You just need to find the willpower to get off your butt, because at that point, even if your goal is a very simple workout, by the time you get there, your brain will feel inclined to want to work out more by simply being in that environment. You need to stay dedicated to keeping your goal. You may have a goal of like losing 20 pounds, but once you do it, don't just give up and go back to your old ways. You might not get back up there again, and you could even end up worse than before. Be careful. Don't set expectations too high for yourself. Start small and ease into bigger endeavors. This is an issue I have personally, and I'm gonna try to fix that. Avoid multitasking. While our brains like to think we're good at focusing on multiple things at once, realistically, you'll probably get overwhelmed. Don't lie to yourself. Be honest if you broke your resolution. This is a big one that a lot of people have trouble with, including me sometimes. But I only ate one piece of chocolate. I technically haven't broken it yet. It's just one. Yes, you did. You broke it. And finally, it doesn't matter if you're 3 weeks into the new year or 3 months. If you haven't even started your New Year's resolution yet, you can still make one and start today. Like, right now. It'd even be a good idea to just take the new year out of resolutions. Just call them goals. If you do that, you probably won't feel inclined to immediately become a better person in January. You have time, take a deep breath. And remember that you're gonna be okay. Stay strong, focus on what you want in life, and remember why you want it, and believe that you can do it. No matter who you are watching this video right now, I believe in you. Are you gonna say believe in yourself again? No. I'm gonna say believe in your can do. Your New Year's resolution to be to get better grammar, because that was the worst thing I've ever heard. My grammar is great. I was just nervous. So I hope these tips help you to fulfilling your goals and becoming a better, happier, and more successful person. I'm personally gonna try to follow them myself, since, like I said earlier, I have a lot of goals of my own. Anyway, I think that's all I gotta say about New Year's resolutions, how the brain works with them, and the tips I had to offer today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped, or was at least a little entertaining. Hopefully you have a great 2018, and as always, good vibes, everyone. Bye. I love doing that. Bye.